A genre-bending enigma filled with all manner of secrets and mystery, there's not a single game I anticipate the release of quite as much as that of Blueprints. It is going to blow our minds. But why? Why am I so hyped for this game? At first glance, it looks relatively unassuming. Is it a game that you should also be excited about? I'll keep this video as spoiler-free as I possibly can. I'm still going to talk about exactly what this game is, breaking down all of its features, those I know about anyway, but I will not be revealing any puzzle solutions or even lingering too long on things that might be secrets. That'll come in my later videos. Any of the plot that I mention will just be from the intro or the Steam page to give you an idea about what is going on when the game begins. I don't want to spoil anything deeper for anyone in this video because Blueprints has similarities to something like Outer Wilds, and some things can only truly be experienced once. I just want to put this game on your radar, especially if you're a fan of secret-filled, knowledge-gating, discovery-focused, quote-unquote metroidbrainia games like I am. It is already one of my favorite games, seriously, and I've only just played the demo for over 150 hours. Anyway, if that's enough for you and you want to just make sure you avoid all information, the demo is playable right now on Steam, and the full game is supposed to release sometime in the next few months. But if you want to learn more, keep watching. The gist of it is that your late great-uncle, the puzzle-obsessed Herbert Sinclair, leaves you, Simon Jones, the keys to his mansion, the layout of which changes every morning. It's up to you to maneuver through this maze of shifting rooms in order to reach the enigmatic Room 46, in a mansion that only has 45 rooms. This immediately reminds me of House of Leaves, with the house being larger on the inside than the outside, but probably not quite as dark. Blueprints actually seems to be heavily inspired by a book called Maze by Christopher Manson. Each page of this book is a complex puzzle room to be solved, leading to an even more complex puzzle. Apparently, this book has never been fully legitimately solved. I don't know if Blueprints will get quite this difficult, but judging by the fact that it took me over 150 hours to see, I think, everything there is to see in the demo, I couldn't be more excited for the full release. It should have plenty of content and replay value at the very least. Other than Maze, some people have compared it to Betrayal at House on the Hill, the tabletop game. And while I don't have much experience with that game, I do own it, but I've only ever really played it once. I could say that's a fitting enough comparison as far as the house building is concerned. Blueprints has much more to it though than simply building your way through a mansion. The diversity of gameplay elements drip-fed to you over the course of your playtime is surprisingly varied, although it might seem relatively simple at first. That's a deception. See, my first experience with it was I was streaming and someone in chat recommended it to me after learning about how much I enjoy secrets. So I downloaded it and we played it on stream, and I was honestly a little disappointed after that first hour or so long session. Here we have this immersive first-person game with all this detail everywhere that we just can't interact with. It felt pretty simplistic. I was expecting it to have a lot of depth and secrets everywhere, and so I was questioning whether or not that would be the case. That's how it was sold to me by that person in chat. Well, I can assure you, my initial impression was dead wrong. It's not simple. Everything in this game, every room, every nook and cranny is hiding like a dozen other things. It's crazy. It has those secrets. It has that depth. Who cares if you can't pick up this paint roller? You don't need to. Anyway, I'm getting way ahead of myself. What type of game is it? How does it play? Basically, it's kind of like a deck builder, except with rooms instead of cards. A deck builder wrapped inside of a puzzle game, enveloped by a large, overarching, politically charged mystery, absolutely smothered with both knowledge-gating mechanics and more traditional roguelite meta progress. Entire game mechanics are slowly unlocked over the course of multiple runs, or as you complete multi-stage puzzles. It's extremely addictive, especially if you're somebody who's motivated to uncover all of its secrets. You begin the game in the entrance hall, and it's your goal, at first anyway, to make your way through the mansion and into the antechamber. But you can only take a certain amount of steps each day. When you run out of steps, you're forced to rest for the night, effectively making each day a different run, since, again, the layout of the manor completely resets every morning. Thus, you lose all that progress. However, you can bring some progress with you from day to day. Ensuring that you do so can become very strategic. The demo allows us to play over the course of 4 in-game days, but there are multiple indications throughout that the full release will set that time limit to at least 1 month. So running out of steps is the first of several fail states. We'll get to the others soon enough. Upon reaching a closed door in Mount Holly, you decide what room appears behind it, and each decision shapes your path as you navigate through the manor. Every time you enter a room, and while you explore the grounds outside of the mansion, you consume steps. Basically, it's your energy or stamina. Most rooms require 1 step to enter, some require more. Some actually replenish steps. As far as the rooms are concerned, there are a lot of them, even just in the demo. Each one contains its own unique challenges or secrets. These are all broken into several categories, like the bedrooms that typically help to restore your steps, hallways that focus on traversal and connecting rooms together, nature-filled green rooms that typically supply buffs of some sort, several types of shops, and red rooms that typically inflict debuffs or other negative consequences. Regardless of what type of room it is, just about every single one of them contains some sort of puzzle or secret or important lore detail that might even function as a knowledge gate, which, once you learn it, allows you to, of course, easily make that progress in each run that follows. This game is very thickly packed full of content. There are also special rooms that don't fall into any of these specific categories or that fall into all of them, and ultra rare rooms that contain pretty unique content, as well as secret room blueprints that only allow you to draft that room once that blueprint is found in some way. And of course, these secret rooms also contain their own secrets. Like I said, it's complex. It keeps building and building and building on itself.
The image is becoming clear.
I mentioned shops, and yeah, another consumable is money, the ultimate consumable. You can use it, for example, at the kitchen to buy food that restores some steps. Another consumable is keys. The deeper you progress into the manor, the more likely it is for a door to be locked, requiring a key to open. Run out of keys, and you could face the second fail state, literally locking yourself out from the rest of the run. There are multiple types of keys too, some of which are quite special, but of course I'm not going to go into that in this video. The final major consumable is gems. A lot of the more interesting rooms require these in order for you to access them. Once again, this can possibly lead to another fail state if you happen to run out of gems. All of these items, food, coins, keys, and gems, can be found randomly throughout the manor, but some rooms are guaranteed to contain a specific type of item, or a puzzle that is guaranteed to reward you with that item. In addition to these items, there is also a large assortment of tools and blueprints, such as a shovel that allows you to dig in certain spots to find buried treasure or garbage, a magnifying glass in order to read the fine print, or even a wrench that allows you to adjust the rarity of rooms. Just like any item, tools can be found randomly around the house, though certain ones tend to spawn more commonly in specific rooms. You'll also get a chance to buy them in a certain shop. And if all that wasn't already complex enough, there is a certain uncommon room that actually allows you to combine certain tools together to create entirely new items that then might allow you to access, sometimes, completely new areas, amongst other interesting abilities. Despite all of these cool items, it still requires very careful planning and effective strategy to reach the current end of a run. If you're not careful, well, there are rooms that are dead ends, and it's possible to end your run a little prematurely. This all might sound interesting to you, but how was I able to squeeze 150 hours out of the demo? Well, I hesitate to call the game specifically a roguelite. It's a lot of different things wrapped together, especially puzzles, but just like a roguelite, it renders the player a pawn to RNG. There's so many mechanics working in tandem, way more than I told you about, and in order to see and solve everything, and there are very deeply buried things, even in the demo, multiple pieces of a puzzle have to fall in just the right way for you to be able to solve that larger picture. That might sound frustrating, and it could be, just like any RNG-heavy game. Sometimes you'll know exactly what you have to do to progress, but you can't because RNG is just not giving you what you need. There are multiple features to help with this, and I think it'll be a bit less of a problem in the full release. Not that I really consider it a problem. I love when the game says no. I mean, I play mass amounts of Noita.
That was a pretty awesome...
and Rain World. You're my grappling hook now, Deflex. With your power, I can do this. Never mind. I'm used to games punishing me and refusing me progress, but I know that not everyone enjoys that level of RNG. Like I said though, there are already features in place to help with this. There's a room that allows you to bring tools from one run to the next, one day to the next. And there's also a way for you to, if you need a specific tool, there's a way for you to place an order and have it delivered within the next few days. So you can guarantee having a certain item you might need. There are probably some more sanity-saving features like that as well, planned for the full release. But I enjoyed every minute of playing the demo, even the runs where I just completely failed. I became addicted to uncovering every bit of knowledge and every secret that I could. If you're anything like me, you'll get plenty of hours out of this game. There is a lot going on, like I said. Not only are you trying to reach Room 46 by progressing through this daily deck-building type RNG-heavy roguelite, but there's also a big, multi-layered mystery that keeps growing and growing and growing in the background as you play. You'll probably want to figure that out too, find out what happened. It's similar to something like Oberdin, the mystery. And then, of course, there are the secrets on top of secrets on top of secrets everywhere. The way that multiple game mechanics work together to help you discover a secret so that you can find and solve a completely different secret so that you can finally see something you've been seeing all along in a completely new light. Yeah, it's just mind-blowing. In a similar way to something like Tunic. And there are some very tricky things hidden around that we've discovered so far. I never thought I needed a completely combat-free puzzle roguelite until I played the demo for Blueprints. Now I need it every day. I do have good news for those of you who worry about secrets in games being too obtuse. Blueprints is filled with all kinds of secrets and puzzles, but they're all, so far, very well breadcrumbed and signposted. At least the main ones that are required for you to solve in order to make big progress. You'll find multiple hints in multiple different areas for each of them. So if you reach a puzzle and it's obviously a puzzle, but you just have no idea at all about how to solve it, just keep playing. Don't worry about it. Maybe in a few runs, you'll make significant progress elsewhere, drafting a very rare room, and suddenly you'll be smacked right in the face with this big hint. Then you can go back anytime and easily solve it. Trust the game. It's very well made. The devs definitely know what they're doing, for sure. If something seems like a huge leap in logic, it's probably not. You just are trying to solve it too early before you get the hint for it. And that's kind of the structure of the game. You're not going to be able to do everything and solve everything in one run. It's going to take many runs, building on one another. Little bits of knowledge gained in one run will help you solve something in another one, and then suddenly you'll be like, what? Now I can do this? And then that will lead you to something else. That's why this game is so exciting. It contains so many forms of interesting dopamine-releasing progression. Not only is it a game filled with curious secrets, not only is there a deep mystery to unravel, not only is there that roguelite meta progress with permanently unlockable buffs, items, rooms, etc., but there's also knowledge-gated progression. Learning how to do something in one run allows you to easily repeat it in every run, shortcutting your progress. There's so many pieces and mechanics that are all working together to enrobe the game with this rich, rewarding gameplay loop that kept me coming back to the demo for 150 hours. Because not only are you simply trying to win a run, but you'll discover many other smaller goals as you play. Like, I don't care about winning. The goal of this run is to just get this item and then get this room, because now I finally know how to solve this puzzle, and I want to see what happens when I do that. It's amazing. and very addictive. And in the demo, the developer actually assures us that this was just a peak. There's a lot more on the way. Just rereading that right now is enough to fill me with anticipation. I cannot wait to get my hands on the full release of this game. I cannot wait to deep dive into all of the secrets and mysteries with you on here after release. I do plan on making guides for how to solve everything, but I'll try my best to structure those as hint-focused guides, where I give progressively easier hints before finally spoiling the solution. I might also do some lore breakdowns and video essays. Only time will tell. If that sounds interesting to you, you can drop a follow if you're not already following, on here and on Twitch, where I'll be streaming the game a lot. And of course, if the game sounds interesting, go ahead and wishlist it to help them out. Though I think this game's gonna be huge. It's so good. Anyway, I'll see you this spring when it releases, and we'll find out. Until then, thanks for watching. Have a great day. This is recorded later on. I just wanted to put this in at the end here. Blueprints was just announced to be releasing on April 10th. So I'll see you then. Let's go!